Hey guys, how's it going? It's Saturday morning. I know it's been a while. Again, as always, I've been pretty busy, but today's a pretty exciting day for me. I'm going to get the front camber plates, front R springs, and the stud conversion for my calipers. I'm getting all three of them installed today. So I'm heading down to the shop that's going to be doing that for me. So once I get there, I'll update you guys, and once it's all done, we're going to go for a ride and see if it makes any good difference on the car. So, well, let's get to it, and I'll hit you guys back when I'm there. Alright guys, so we just came out of the MRF Engineering here in Lake Forest in Southern California, and I really gotta give thumbs up to the owner of MRF Engineering. His name is Malik. Again, he's very much car enthusiast. He has a race prepped M3, and he dailies a 911. And I love these type of shops where it's not a very large shop. His garage is the shop is fairly small size. It fits. It has 2 lifts, and I kind of like that. And he's the only one who works on these cars. It's not like bunch of guys in there working on your car. And very meticulous. The things that I wanted done correctly. Again, he, instead of coming from my mouth, it came from his mouth before I even mentioned it, and I really appreciate that kind of stuff, especially anybody that works on my car. Kind of builds up confidence before he even starts work on the car. Things, small things like torque specs and whatnot. His shop is mainly for BMWs and Porsche, but he, before I got here this morning, he took his time, kind of did some study up on my car. He knew all the proper torque specs and, kind of the installation type of deal, and he was pretty much ready to roll. And I was in and out in about, what, 2 hours, and the alignment, everything is spot on. So yeah, any of you guys who live in Southern California wants to get some of the installations done like I did here for springs and alignment done and whatnot, yeah, hit up MRF Engineering. Again, his name is Malik. His price is also very reasonable too. The reason why I went to him in the first place is because all these domestic specialty shops that specifically work on a bunch of Mustangs, I called about 5-6 of them around, even all the way up to LA. And as soon as, I don't know if it's because this car is Shelby or whatnot, but their labor fees and what they wanted to charge for simple spring and camber plate install with the alignment. One thing is, some of those shops don't even do their own alignment, but yeah, their fees are much higher than here, the MRF Engineering. So his prices are very reasonable, and again, top quality work. because I don't have to replace those bolts anymore and also wear down my aluminum knuckle. So all those things done and said, I haven't taken it to obviously any tracks or anything like that. I did some quick spirited driving around, and I can tell you right now the car feels very different. I mean, I wouldn't say it's not like I'm driving a totally different car. That's not true. The dampening and general sensation of the feedback that I get is fairly similar, but where I feel the most difference is as soon as I make tight turns or quick turn-ins, the whole car now, it seems like it really wants to turn in very aggressively compared to what it used to be. The eagerness of turning is a whole another level now, and the car itself is also much more stable while it's trying to turn in. And remember, I also changed out my rear sway bar to R sway bar as well. So this whole front and rear change really dynamically changes a car to, I would say, much more fun and exciting type of car. And again, for how much I spent to get all these things done, I would obviously highly recommend to anybody out there that wants to get it done to your stock GT350. It really brings the car's potential. It really feels like everything's bolted the right way and the car's turning the right way, and it feels a little bit lighter on the front end as well. With the camber plates, we decided on negative 1.95 degrees of camber on both front ends. Now the front springs, you know, the spring rates were increased by about 25%. The regular GT350 spring rate is at about, I believe it's at about 194 foot per square inch, something like that. The R springs are 240 something foot per square inch. So, and also I did confirm while both springs were out, the R springs are shorter. It looked like it was about half an inch to a full inch shorter than regular GT350 springs. So it would effectively lower my car on the front end. Now, doesn't look like my front end has been lowered that much though. Most likely because the camber plates that I've installed, the camber plates always are going to give you a little bit more thickness than the stock plates that are already on there. So I think it almost kind of balances out with camber plates. When the R springs, the total ride height, it comes out fairly similar to what you already had as a stock, which is kind of what I wanted. The car might be a little bit lower, but I mean, visually speaking, you really can't tell. If you want to lower your car about an inch, then, you know, if you don't get the camber plates and simply just swap out the springs, I'm sure you'll get that about, you know, half an inch to about an inch drop. So yeah, there's that, because I actually thought the two springs were same and equal in length, but they're not. And also, something I was a little worried about was without the, you know, the R calibration. I don't know if there's actually separate calibration for R Magna dampers, Magna ride dampers versus regular GT350 dampers. There may be not. You know, it's hard for me to tell. But what I was afraid of was changing the spring rate and these dampers not being able to cope with it, and the car just, you know, becomes all bouncy. But it definitely hasn't done that. If anything, it is, as far as just regular ride, the firmness of the car doesn't, you really don't feel much of that. Even, you know, hard turn-ins and whatnot, you know, I just don't see a whole lot of difference there. Again, the only real difference that I feel, you know, at this point, without taking to the track, is the turn-in sensation. The car really feels like it can easily swing had to compare it, is similar to when I had a Boxster S. That little sensation where the whole car rotates around your hip. It feels similar to that. Not as good, to be honest, but I mean, definitely improvement from what I had as a stock vehicle. So yeah, I mean, as far as I can tell, things that's been done to this car hasn't give me any drawbacks yet, but all the pluses so far. And every time I change something to my car, that's, you know, I'm always a little afraid that there's something's gonna be a little off and I'm making my car worse. But again, majority of these parts being OEM, you know, GT350R parts, you know, I mean, these things being designed to fit this car. So again, everything's so far so good, and I'm really hoping when I take it to the track, that mid-corner bumpiness, the little bit of the boaty feeling of the front end, I'm hoping that has been cured a bit with these stiffer springs. And that's my main goal by doing this. So we'll see how that goes. But I am very happy of how this car turns in now. It's obviously I can't show it to you on the camera right now, but it is definitely a big difference. So yeah, cheap stuff, cheap upgrades. Again, front springs, 70-75 bucks. Rear sway bar, similar cost. The camber plate was, you know, that's the most expensive part that I bought. Again, you don't have to buy expensive camber plates, you know, like the MM Motorsports camber plates. Those are half the price of what I got, and they still work. But again, the camber plates cost me about $550, somewhere around that neighborhood. And you know, the installation and alignment. And again, you know, MRF Engineering, he'll hook you up if you call him up. But yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm really happy, and the next step is to get some lighter wheels and stickier tires, most likely Cup 2 tires, and see where we go from there. I think you know, probably only 2 extra things at that point that I'm considering right now is rear seat delete and the full performance cells. Pretty much it'll look just like the R rear. You know, you can save about 40 pounds there by removing the rear seats. I never use rear seats. There's not enough space back there anyway, so I might just do that. And carbon fiber drive shaft. That would be another thing, because that would also save me about 20 pounds, and that's rotational mass. And that's definitely going to be a big plus for the car. So all in all, with the lighter wheels, rear seat delete, and the carbon drive shaft, I should be able to save about just about 100 pounds, a little more of weight off this car, and a lot of that is coming from rotational mass. So I think that's going to give a huge advantage to the car. And again, from where I'm thinking, at that point, I think I'm going to be done with this car as far as you know, maybe, you know, building up the car. At that point, my driving skill would be the limiting factor, and the car will be more than capable of keeping up with, I mean, really almost anything out there at the track. So only thing I can blame is my driving level of skill. So got to keep working on that, and there's never-ending you know, there's never-ending quest to become a better driver, right? So yeah, well, this weekend is starting off good, and again, I'm a happy camper. And for those of you who own GT350, yeah, look into it. If you guys have any questions, where I bought the parts and whatnot, let me know. Leave me a comment. I always try to answer my comments. Please give me thumbs up, press on the likes, subscribe, and next time I see you, it'll be after I moved, so I'll be fairly close of getting my new rims. We'll see how that goes, but maybe I'll try to upload a couple more videos before that. We'll see. But anyways, have a good weekend, guys. Stay safe always, and I'll see you guys later.